Hey guys, Jeff with Kayak Contemplations. So what do you do when you're physically unable to get outside and do stuff? Sorry for movement, set this down. So what do you do? You're unable to get outside, you're unable to go fishing or hunting or camping or kayaking or, whatever that may be that maybe you're older, maybe you have a disability, maybe you have an injury. So what do you do? How do you have a fulfilling life when you feel like you can't get out and do stuff? Whenever I think about this, I think about my own personal experience, my own personal journey. Many years ago, I sustained a pretty severe injury to my right knee, and having been a martial artist for pretty much all my adult life, and at the time of that injury, well over 50% of my life had been spent doing martial arts, and the thought actually crossed my mind, what if I can't do this anymore? What am I going to do now? How am I going to continue to enjoy my life? Because I had wrapped up my life in this perfect little box, and part of that box was martial arts was who I was. I mean, it defined who I was. So how can I not do martial arts? And while I was wallowing in self-pity and healing from the first surgery, I had a lot of thoughts about quitting, a lot of thoughts about not doing it anymore. I mean, how could I? I mean, the doctor basically said, jumping and doing that kind of stuff was most likely out of the question. He was going to be happy if I ever walked again, much less be able to kick and punch and sit on my knees and do all the other stuff that is required in the martial arts that I was involved in. So it was a real puzzling point for me. And in another video I talk about the phrase Nanakarobi Aoki, 7 times down, 8 times up. And that's a great phrase for how do you motivate yourself to get out there and do something. But what if you just physically can't? Here's what I would suggest. Modify your lifestyle, modify how you do things, but don't stop doing things. I couldn't tell you how many times, living in Southwest Florida for 17 years and working for a nonprofit and interacting with senior individuals, I couldn't tell you how many times I saw the difference between seniors who kept themselves busy, kept themselves motivated, and were doing something versus the seniors that had given up and had decided that they're going to sit in their air-conditioned home and wait for the good Lord to take them, and that was the end of that. To me, the quality of life of those that tried and got out there and did something versus the quality of life of those that just sat in their homes waiting to die was tremendous. It was huge. It was huge. If you're waiting for death, guarantee it'll happen. Why wait for death? It's going to happen to all of us. Every single one of us is going to die. So why wait for it? That to me is foolish. Life is the part of our existence that is the unknown variable. We don't know how long we're going to be on this earth. We don't know the impact our life is going to have on the people around us. We have no idea. And the only way we're going to know is at the end. And personally, I think that the more we invest in our present, the more we invest in the things that we're doing now, the better off we're going to be. So my recommendation to you is this. Let's say you enjoyed fishing, but maybe you can't walk anymore, or maybe you can't get out on a boat anymore, or whatever. You know how many parks there are around here that have benches right next to the water that you could literally take a wheelchair that is motorized and roll right up to it and fish to your heart's content? Is it going to be the same as getting out and paddling? No, of course not. It's going to be different. But that doesn't mean it's any better or any worse. You can find other activities to do, maybe you can't go out in the woods hiking anymore, or stalking and hunting anymore, because your back can't handle it, or your knees can't handle it anymore. Do something easier. Maybe go to a casino, walk around a casino for a little while. Maybe go to a mall, walk around a mall. Maybe go to a theme park with your grandchildren. But do something. Don't waste the time that you have on this earth sitting at home waiting to die. There's just so much that can be done. And there's so much good that can be done by those that aren't required to work anymore. If you've lived your life to the point that you don't need to financially have a job and have an income coming in because you've made good investments or what have you, well, then consider doing something else that would benefit society. Mentoring younger people is a huge thing that can be done. Getting involved with a nonprofit and donating and volunteering your time is something that has far-reaching benefits to the world around us. If you've done things all your life and you're not able to do them anymore, maybe take the next generation, the younger generation, and teach them your knowledge. Sorry for the camera move there. Teach them your knowledge. You've acquired in this life that you've lived a tremendous amount of knowledge on a wide variety of areas. Rather than sitting at home wallowing in self-pity, find somebody that you can pass that knowledge on to. I personally think that if we have more people passing on knowledge to the next generation, we're going to be less likely to repeat some of the same silly mistakes that we constantly make. So those are just my thoughts for what it's worth. I personally have always believed age really doesn't matter. The lake I'm on right now, and again, sorry for the camera movement here, the lake that I'm on right now is a lake that my grandfather fished pretty much up until the day he died. He would come out here, rent a little John boat, and he had a little trolling motor, and he'd come fish this lake. And I remember coming from school, and the park that I'm at actually has a road that cuts in between the two lakes. And I remember coming home from school, going through the park, and I'd see my grandfather's station wagon down there, and I knew he was out here fishing. Was it the type of fishing that he was used to? No, he always had the boats, and he did, the Canadian trips and fished in Lake Michigan and ocean fished and all that. But it was something that he would do. It was something that he could get out and do. And the most important thing is he took me out, and he took my brother out, and he taught us all about fishing. And he passed on that knowledge to another generation. So my recommendation to you, if you're senior and you're not able to get out there and do the things that you once were able to do, or maybe you are dealing with physical challenges, don't waste your time at home. Instead, get out there, share your knowledge and expertise with the next generation. They will be appreciative of it. You will get enjoyment and satisfaction out of it, and the world will be a better place. Till next time, this is Jeff with Kayak Contemplations.